Are you breathing right now? I'm sure this is a very straightforward and simply odd question because of the obvious nature and answer of it, which would hopefully be yes. Now, have you or any of your loved ones been impacted by COVID-19? Though it is not the same as the last one asked, it is similar. How, you may ask? The very fine line that connects these two questions together is the global reach it has on everyone. The impact of COVID-19, whether it be health-wise or financially, has hit the world so hard that the life it had once known no longer seemed to exist. Over the last almost 3 years, humans have adapted at a rapid rate to combat and fight against this virus and the impact it had. However, as people have moved to the future, those who are not able to keep up with this pace are ultimately left behind to deal with the tragic effects themselves. What people do not seem to realize or choose to ignore is the growing healthcare issue that targets mainly those who are not able to afford it. What seems like such a basic necessity of life ultimately becomes a luxury and privilege for those who are not supported by it. As COVID-19 has struck our local hospital and factories, a huge shortage of medical equipment and doctors has added on to the pre-existing healthcare issues. Consequently, this shortage and healthcare crisis has handicapped those with less fortunate socioeconomic situations. As the CDC reports in a lengthy research report from 2021, there are roughly 31.1 million people across the country who lack access to healthcare and immediate attention to potentially life-threatening conditions, even with policies in place such as the Affordable Care Act. As COVID-19 terrorized people across the world, those who were in absence of medical care were hit the hardest, as they did not have anything to offer for themselves in regards of the expensive and unsympathetic healthcare system. Additionally, as people are refused healthcare, disparities between classes and groups of people begin to expand as the differences between those given healthcare benefits and those who are not become more transparent. The constant lack of resources and attention from the community contributes to a growing problem in mental health, which only adds to the challenges people face as they also fight to win against these barriers set before them. The lack of healthcare does not only concern the livelihood and very existence of these millions of people, but also stretches far more vastly into the regions of social and mental health issues. Now, the big question proposed time and time again is, what can we do with this information? What you can do is to help promote and support foundations that help alleviate the effects of the pandemic around the world, such as the nonprofit organization Blueprints for Pangea. From spreading awareness online or to people you know helps kickstart the want and action for change. To directly help those affected, volunteer for events in your community such as organizing food drives or materials for those in need, along with providing your blood to hospitals in a time where there is an extreme shortage of them. Now, with the overarching issue of healthcare, you can help promote new policies with your local government, whether it be your district or state representative. Although you may believe that your voice will not be heard, the reality is that taking the first step towards change is always the most powerful one that cannot be suppressed nor denied by anyone who witnesses it. Even though the path can be a very hard and long journey, it is something that needs to be started now. The greatest enemy to the millions of people in need of healthcare is the lack of attention and care from their fellow citizens, and above all, the belief that gradualism will help solve all problems, which is not the case at all. Time is truly of the essence, where people's existence and livelihood are put on the line. Your help and action is greatly needed for those who cannot do so themselves. Even though the impact the pandemic has had on the country is immeasurable, we can help change that by directly fighting against it hand in hand together.